People all around the world use acetaminophen for pain, flu cold symptoms, and other various conditions. However, they are not aware of the hidden dangers that acetaminophen can cause to their bodies. In the last year, over 400 people have died from acetaminophen toxicity in the United States. Today we have with us local pharmacist Jenny Goldberg, and she will be addressing the prevalence of this issue in the community as well as in the country.
Thank you for having me today.
Of course.
So like you said, acetaminophen overuse is a very common problem right now in the United States. What most people don't realize is that the overuse of acetaminophen can cause liver damage. You might see this in yellowing of the skin, but also it's hidden. There might not be any symptoms at all of acetaminophen overuse and liver damage resulting from it. People also don't realize that there are over 600 products that we use daily that contain acetaminophen. So today I brought in one of my patients, Sahar, and we're going to go through her medicine cabinet and look for these hidden acetaminophen sources. Thanks for coming in, Sahar. So I know that you're taking some acetaminophen regularly. Can you give me a little bit of background information on the use of acetaminophen?
Sure. Well, lately for the past few weeks I have been taking Vicodin extra strength because I was in a car accident a few weeks back, so I've been using that for my pain that I've been having. And my doctor, he told me that it contained acetaminophen in it, and he told me not to take any other Tylenol products. But other than that, I don't know any other products that I'm taking that contain acetaminophen.
Okay, great.
So we have a footage of Sahar's medication cabinet, and with us today we have the products that we chose that contain acetaminophen that she is currently using. This is a clip of Sahar's medicine cabinet, and in it we found Vicodin, Dayquil, and Excedrin, and they all included acetaminophen. So now that we've gone through Sahar's medication cabinet, we have the products that she's been taking that contain acetaminophen, but she was not aware of them. So Dr. Kohlberg is going to go through each medication, and we're going to see how much acetaminophen she takes per day.
Okay, Sahar, so let's start with your Vicodin prescription. Can you tell me how you're normally taking this?
Sure. Based on what the doctor told me, I've been taking one pill every 6 hours. So I usually take on 4 pills every day.
Okay. So actually there's 750 milligrams of acetaminophen per each Vicodin. So you're taking roughly 3,000 milligrams of acetaminophen just daily from your Vicodin prescription.
Oh wow, I didn't know that it contained that much acetaminophen. I knew it contained it, but I didn't know it was like that amount of it.
Right. Okay. So let's keep going and look at other things that you have in your medicine cabinet. So we looked and we saw it seems like you're taking this Dayquil, NyQuil quite often.
Mm-hmm.
How often are you taking this?
Well, lately, like for the past week, I've been taking the Dayquil, 1 dose of it in the morning because I've been having some coughing and I've been sniffling a lot, so like I feel like I have like a cold, so I've been taking 1 dose of that in the morning. And then for the NyQuil, I take it for my cold, but I also take it to help me sleep at night because I do have some trouble sleeping at night.
Okay. So actually most people don't realize that these common cold and flu medications actually contain a fair amount of acetaminophen as well. Not sure if you were aware of that. But actually if you take a dose of each per day, you're consuming another 600 milligrams of, another 1,300 milligrams of acetaminophen per day.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that it even contains acetaminophen at all.
And most people don't realize this. Okay, so one of the last products that we found was this Excedrin. Can you tell me if you're taking this, how often you take it?
I usually don't take the Excedrin that often. I usually just take it whenever I have some headaches. So I usually take about 1 pill a day for that one, along with the other medications that I'm on.
Okay. So this is actually adding another 500 milligrams of acetaminophen. So people often think if it's not Tylenol, it's not containing the acetaminophen, but actually that's a common, or acetaminophen is the active ingredient in your Excedrin.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought as well, because I know that my doctor only told me not to take a Tylenol with my Vicodin, so I just thought that was the only medication I didn't need to take.
Right.
So Sahar, as we looked at all your medications, you've come to tally at 4,800 milligrams of acetaminophen per day. Do you know what the daily dose of it is?
I actually have no idea.
So the maximum amount you want to take is 4,000 milligrams. So Dr. Kohlberg is going to go through your medications and help you see how to identify if there's acetaminophen in your product so that you'll be aware and we can help prevent this problem.
Okay, thank you. That sounds great.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about how to read a prescription or a drug label. So this is the Excedrin that you picked up at the store, and if you're looking at the back of it and you want to determine if something has acetaminophen on it, but the really nice thing, quite often now, acetaminophen is highlighted in yellow, and that's a current thing. So you can always look at the back, the ingredients labeled, and it'll tell you how much is in the prescription. So this says acetaminophen, active ingredient, 250 milligrams per each tablet. So then this might be something where you take out your scrap paper and you add in everything throughout the entire day.
Okay.
So if you're taking a couple, you're going to multiply it. Another key thing to remember is that, unfortunately, it's not always called acetaminophen on the label. And that's another area where people quite often don't realize how much they're taking. You might see it documented as APAP, APAP on the label, and that stands for acetaminophen as well, and you'd want to calculate that into your total volume.
All right.
So, another important thing when reading labels is we're going to talk about children's medication. So you had some children's Tylenol in your medicine cabinet, so I'm guessing that you have kids in your household.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so how would you give them this children's liquid formula?
For this medication, if they're feeling sick or anything like that, I usually just give them like 2 kitchen spoonfuls of the medication, like every 6 hours, something like that.
Okay. So you're reading the teaspoons or tablespoons
Right.
as a kitchen spoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And that's the one where people often take an overuse acetaminophen as well.
Okay.
So you're going to want to make sure most liquid children's medicine, you have this little measuring device that comes with it. And it's really important to use this. I don't know if you know, and I couldn't tell you because I don't have your kitchen spoon with you,
Right.
but spoons are different. You may be giving your child double the dose that they need then, and doubling their amount of acetaminophen.
Okay. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that I could be doing that.
Yeah, most people don't. That's a common thing.
So the number one symptom would be liver damage, and that's why we are so adamant about solving this problem. So liver damage can cause like yellowing of the skin or in the eyes or your nails, but it also can cause flu-like symptoms like nausea, vomiting. So people that are taking acetaminophen don't realize that they're getting these symptoms because of their overuse of acetaminophen. And then they go and buy cold and flu medications that do contain acetaminophen, so they're adding on to this issue. Another problem is sometimes people don't even have symptoms when they have acetaminophen overuse. So they need to be really careful when they do use acetaminophen and make sure that they're using the proper amount. So along with the symptoms, I know that there are other alternate solutions, Dr. Kohlberg. So what are some alternate solutions that Sahar and other acetaminophen users could take from this show?
Okay, so Sahar, like we said, it's really important that you're calculating how much you're using per day, making sure you're not going over that amount. If you're experiencing pain and that's something you want to avoid, there are other medications. Aspirin, ibuprofen are things that you can use that do not contain acetaminophen. It's really important to look at the back of the labels like we showed you earlier. There are various cold, flu, menstrual products that you can use that do not contain acetaminophen. So if you're proactive and you go into the pharmacy and look for those products, you can find something.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for letting me know of my acetaminophen overuse. I really had no idea how much acetaminophen I was taking every day. And I'm really happy that I came into this program, and I thank you guys again.
Well, thank you for coming, and we hope that this show and program has a positive effect on your life, as well as all of our viewers.